Hey, broskies, Obscure FPS Memes here. I'm sure you and your friends are wondering what kind of looter shooter you should buy coming 2018. You might have tried a couple already, but there's a lot of choices out there now, so here's a quick video guide on the major three. Destiny has been a franchise in turmoil since its original release back in 2014. After a massive advertising campaign by Bungie and Activision, the game was forced to take a Diablo 3 approach to fixing the game's loot tables and drops, and the Taken King expansion finally added a story. But the recently released Destiny 2 has essentially started the cycle once more, delivering a polished product that's ultimately shadowed the sun. It's not all bad though. The main campaign is decent and the raids are straightforward to gain access to, creating 6-player jamborees. The weapons are fine-tuned and the items and HUD are straightforward, creating a polished experience that feels good to play, just only for a little while. There's currently an expansion pass, but the game's microtransactions and Eververse store have been a large source of controversy. Players feel like the game doesn't actually reward content for playing the raids, strikes, and other missions associated with the story, and prefers that you would spend money in its real money shop, buying silver to get cosmetics, emotes, and other types of DLC content. Tom Clancy's The Division is a Ubisoft game that recently made a bit of a 180 no-scope. Originally the game was a nice adventure up to level 30, but the Dark Zone, a PvP loot area, ended up souring the game for a lot of people with hackers and broken promises. But the recent 1.8 update adds a lot of the game for non-season pass holders, such as a dedicated PvP mode and a horde mode, along with a map expansion. Personally, this game carries one of the best senses of atmosphere I've seen in a while. The previous generations of gaming have worked up to this, and despite not looking exactly like the E3 footage has promised, it's a game that will definitely age well. The earlier global events update has multiple ways to play the game each week, and they've added more loot chests and cosmetics into the game. There isn't a strict raid mode, but each mission comes with various difficulties alongside a global world tier setting that pushes your gear score to the limit. If you are interested in this game, the one specific DLC worth getting is Underground, a game mode focused on procedurally generated dungeons. And then there's Warframe. Warframe is an indie title made by Digital Extremes, and it's the free-to-play option of the three I've mentioned in this video. It's a game about space ninjas fighting aliens, and it's a much more confusing option. The game uses microtransactions and packs of premium currency to fund itself, and the game's grind largely centers around getting specific gear and warframes, the game's titular name for its class system. The gameplay itself is a little simplistic, but it's also the fastest moving game in a short list. The weapon variety is there, but locked away with blueprints that you have to purchase, grind for, and then literally wait for the time counter to complete building it. This makes it a game of constant planning, where most players choose what they want to acquire before doing the missions required to get it. It's a bit daunting, but the prices are fair, so if you do decide to buy $60 game's worth of currency, it'll go far. You do have to grind to get to the raid game modes, but they do have a sliding scale for player count. The graphics hold up well for a game released in 2013, and there's definitely enough content in this game for you to get through. It's not like Destiny 2 or The Division where there's a bit of content, but it ultimately starts to taper off near the ends. There's a lot of stuff to do here. Overall, it's hard to choose. Warframe is great on a budget, but the others are on sale for the holidays as well. Destiny 2 is poised to just become like The Division, but I only say that based on what I've read about its development and how the company is contracted by Activision to make 3 games. Warframe takes the opposite approach and continues the game as a service, allowing the kind of polish that has happened to The Division. All 3 are diverse and aesthetic as well, so there's a bit of a stylistic gameplay choice here. Do you want to do weird space ninjas, tactical cover-based gameplay, or Halo space magic? The choice is yours.